let me take a quick look at some established breadcrumb guidelines to give you the best feedback. Okay, Julian, I've looked at some breadcrumb design guidelines. Here are a few points.
Thinking that we can talk about design and how it is awesome actually to be a designer, product designer, or UX, UI designer, whatever your title is today. How awesome it is to be a designer in 2025 and how empowering all the emerging tools and technologies are actually. I think it's very, very empowering and very exciting. And what I thought might be worth actually discussing today is various interfaces and how we interact with them, mainly the modality of text and how users are getting onboarded to our applications. I do often think about churn. I do often think about onboarding customers and making the experience as easy as possible. And I feel like the text interface, obviously it's a requirement and it's kind of a must, but there are other ways of thinking about the interaction and the kind of a multimodality and how we can approach certain aspects of one, onboarding customers and users, but also educating maybe not even our users. So we are just, obviously you can see I have GPT open here, very, very popular interface, which is present in many applications, mainly in this kind of a form. This one is from Zapier, your typical bot interface where you obviously type in the prompt, it gives you an answer. You type in another prompt, it gives you another answer, and so on. It's kind of a one-shot experience, and it also requires quite a bit of effort when it comes to typing. It takes a lot of time to actually get to the point and get the help that you're actually looking for. That's at least how I feel about it. The other thing that is missing in this kind of interaction is the lack of, I guess, personality and an interaction that would feel a little bit more closer to how we interact with each other, meaning people. So what I have been doing recently, I've been, as a designer, I jump into Figma. I try to put, simple mocks together, try and explore different ways of, I guess, approaching the onboarding experience and the interfaces, how we can communicate with the LLMs and so on. So I came up with this UI, which is pretty simple, but it kind of does what it needs to do. And in this example, as I'm not able to show you the one that was actually built for the company that I work for, I thought I'm going to show you the one that I've been thinking of actually turning into a Figma add-on plugin, because that is possible, and incorporating that into the Figma application itself. So simple UI, but it's really hard to communicate what I am about here, what I want to communicate to you, how this could actually work. These are static images. There's the lack of interaction that I'm actually trying to sell, and the way it can actually function a little bit differently. So what I want to show you today, and I think this is a good time actually to show it because the Google I/O has just ended, which is the developer conference. If you don't know what it is, go check it out. There's a lot of tech that is being introduced during Google I/O, which is very, very interesting. So anyway, myself as a product designer, I could have just ended here, went to my colleagues, get some feedback, iterate on the design and so on. But because of the progression of the tools that we're getting and how we can leverage things like VS Code, GitHub Copilot, Cursor with variety of LLMs and do some vibe coding and so on. What I was able to do actually is to build what you see here. So it started with Figma, but what you see here is a real implementation. And I can get into the technicality of it, what is powering this thing. It's not very complicated. I am not a developer. I'm a product designer. I have a little bit of a kind of a technical background, but nothing that would allow me to go and actually code this. So let me actually show you how this works and what I was thinking of actually doing. So let me actually pull up here. This is, by the way, not scripted. So we'll see how this goes. So anyway, the idea I have here is to introduce a few AI collaborators. In this context, these collaborators only really work in Figma. You can specify that in the system instruction, how you want this collaborator to role play, I guess, with you. So these are just examples, obviously. They all have names to give them a little bit more personality. So Adam is the UX architect. Then you have a product designer with the name of Marcus. Sophia is the content strategist, front-end developer Jackson, and then user researcher Emma. And I am going to show you an example because I've been talking way too long. So let me actually go to, let's maybe start with Marcus. You see how it works and why the multimodality could be something that you might consider if you are working on a chat interface. And multimodality meaning voice, video, screen recording, and also text could be maybe useful and merged or married together instead of just relying on text. So anyway, let's see what Marcus has to say. Hey there.
Hey Julian, Marcus here. What's on your mind today?
Hey Marcus, could you please introduce yourself? Can you tell me what you can help me with? Thank you.
Of course, Julian. As I said, I'm Marcus, a product design collaborator. I specialize in user experience, accessibility, and user interface design. Basically, I'm here to help you with any design challenges, provide feedback, and explore new concepts. I can offer insights based on established design principles, UX laws, and accessibility guidelines.
Awesome.
What do we work?
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting you. Marcus, can you please confirm what am I looking at?
Julian, I see you're sharing a Figma design. It looks like you're on the Google Cloud API library page within the design. Would you like me to take a look and offer some feedback on the user experience or interface design?
Yes, I do have a question about the breadcrumbs here at the top. Usually the breadcrumbs are styled slightly differently, aren't they? What do you think?
Let me take a quick look at some established breadcrumb guidelines to give you the best feedback. Okay, Julian, I've looked at some breadcrumb design guidelines. Here are a few points. Hierarchy. Breadcrumbs should represent the website's structure, showing the path from the home page to the current page. Placement. They should be placed above the main content, but below the primary navigation.
Awesome, thank you. Thanks, Marcus. I'm thinking of redesigning the card layout here. It's a little bit, well, I don't know. What do you think? I'm not the biggest fan, but what do you think? Do you have an opinion about the card layout here?
Okay, Julian, I understand you're thinking about redesigning the card layout and want my opinion. Let me analyze the current design and then run a quick search on best practices for card layouts, especially within API libraries, and I'll give you some specific feedback. Okay, Julian, I've analyzed the card layout in the Figma design you shared and looked at some best practices. Here's my feedback. Strengths of the current design. Clear visual hierarchy. The cards effectively group related information, making it easy to scan. Clean and minimalist. The use of white space and simple icons contributes to a clean and modern aesthetic. Suggestions for improvement. Styling consistency. You mentioned this already, but ensuring the breadcrumbs are styled consistently will provide a more unified experience. Card size consistency. One of the key things I noticed is that the cards for APIs like Places API have much longer descriptions, and that might make the cards taller. To avoid that, strive for consistent content structure. Contrast and shadows. Contrast and shadows help define the boundaries of each card, making them stand.
Thank you. Thanks, Marcus. Hey, I'm going to have to go. So yeah, that was very helpful. Thanks.
No problem, Julian. Happy to help. Before you go, would you like me to send a summary of our conversation to your email?
Yes, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, Julian. I'll send that over right away. Okay, Julian. It's on its way. Let me know if you need anything else in the future.
Yeah, so that was just a demo. I forgot to mention that this is running actually on my local machine, so that it could be a little bit choppy. But you get the idea, right? It kind of the responses actually depend on the questions. I'm actually terrible today asking questions, but hey, anyway, so this is an example of pretty much a function calling, which is sending an email. This is using a resend service, and it's sending an email with a summary. Obviously, that can be customized however you want. So again, through the chat interface, not just relying on text, but you can also rely on sharing screen, obviously talking to the LLM, in this case, Marcus. This is a low latency API, so it's very, very quick. That's why it kind of feels like you don't really have to wait for a response, even though the LLM is using a tool and is grounded in Google search. So when when Marcus said, hey, let me look it up, he was actually going and actually doing a search, which is based in whatever is available in Google. What that means that is actually grounded in today. So it's not just using whatever it was trained on, but it also uses whatever is available in the internet. So you get the email, you can obviously customize, you can actually specify how detailed you want this email to be. It could be as detailed as you would like it to be. Okay, let's check out a few other examples here. Let's actually see if we can talk about information architecture. That's a very interesting topic. It always is. Let's actually go to Adam. Hey there.
Hello, Julian. Adam here. What information architecture challenge are we tackling today?
Hey, Adam. I'm gonna share my screen. Can you please just confirm that you can see it?
Yes, Julian, I can see your screen. It shows a graphic outlining the 8 principles of information architecture, according to Dan Brown. What specific...
Awesome. Hey, sorry for interrupting you. Hey, can we talk about the navigation one, the navigation principle? Thank you.
Certainly, Julian. Let's delve into the navigation principle of information architecture. To ensure we're covering the most relevant aspects, what specific questions or challenges do you have in mind regarding navigation within your project? I am also going to do...
Yeah, sorry again. So I am working on a kind of an enterprise UX project, which has a very complicated navigation pattern. It's a horizontal navigation pattern. I just want to make sure that I'm going to cover the most important things when it comes to this principle from Dan Brown. So anything you can tell me about the navigation principle, that's going to be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, Julian. I understand you're working on an enterprise UX project with a complex horizontal navigation pattern, and you want to ensure you cover the most important aspects of the navigation principle from Dan Brown. Let me search for some key considerations for horizontal navigation in enterprise UX to give you a well-rounded perspective. From my search, here are some key takeaways regarding horizontal navigation and Dan Brown's principles. Keep it focused. Dan Brown's principle of focused navigation emphasizes not mixing different navigation systems. Keep your horizontal navigation consistent and clearly separate items according to their function.
Awesome.
Don't mix app.
Thank you, Adam. What are we looking at now? Can you please confirm? Thanks.
You're welcome, Julian. I now see an information architecture example diagram specifically outlining the structure of Amazon's website, from category and product pages to the shopping cart and checkout process.
Awesome. Hey, Adam, how would you improve this diagram?
Thanks, Julian. Okay, I've reviewed the Amazon information architecture diagram. To give you the most targeted recommendations, could you tell me what specific aspect of the diagram you're looking to improve? For example...
Yeah, let's just validate this. Just give me your opinion if you can. Thank you.
Okay, Julian, I understand. You'd like me to validate this Amazon IA diagram and give my opinion. Let me take a quick look, and I'll share my thoughts. From an initial look, here are some things I would consider. Clarity of connections. The dashed lines seem a bit ambiguous. Solid lines typically imply a stronger, more direct relationship. Completeness. It might be beneficial to add elements such as search functionality and user accounts to provide a holistic view. Does this align with the type of validation you were looking for, Julian?
That's very interesting. Yes, the user account is missing from here. No, thank you. That was actually very helpful. Thanks.
Great. I'm glad that was helpful, Julian. Would you like me to send a summary of our UX architecture discussion to your email?
Yes, please. Thank you.
No problem, Julian. Give me a moment to prepare the email. Okay, Julian, I've sent the email summary to you. Let me know if you need anything else.
Awesome. So, I mean, the principle is the same. System instruction, you can obviously customize the agent or whatever you want to call this entity to whatever you like. I'll show you just briefly the other ones as well. I'm not going to go into like the detail of what it can actually provide. It kind of depends what kind of questions you want to ask, obviously. So if you have any specific questions, and it is actually a real project, which we might do maybe in the future, that will definitely work a little bit better. So let's actually talk to Sophia. Hey there.
Hello, Julian. Sophia here. What content can I help you with today?
Yes, Sophia, can you please, actually I'm doing a demo, can you please introduce yourself, what you can help me with? Thank you.
Of course, Julian. As Sophia, I'm a content strategist, AI, here to collaborate with you on all things content. I can assist with UX writing, content design, and communication strategy. I can provide feedback on copy, help refine messaging, and offer insights on content best practices. What specific content challenges are you tackling in your demo?
Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks, Sophia.
You're welcome, Julian. How can I help you further with your demo today?
Yeah, I would try Jackson. Jackson is also very, very interesting. So Jackson plays a role of a front-end developer. So Jackson is focusing on, well, he's going to tell us, I guess. Hey, Jackson.
Hey Julian, Jackson here. What are we building today?
Hey, Jackson, can you introduce yourself and kind of explain how you can help me?
Sure thing, Julian. As I mentioned, I'm Jackson, a front-end developer AI. My goal is to be your go-to collaborator for all things front-end. I can provide expert answers, analyze UI implementations, and offer feedback on your code. I'm also pretty good at assessing Figma designs from a front-end perspective, identifying potential challenges or complexities for the development team during implementation. Essentially, I'm here to help you build awesome UIs efficiently. What kind of challenge are you facing today?
Hey, Jackson, what am I looking at?
I see you're looking at the Google API library. Is there a specific API you're planning to use, or are you just exploring what's available?
I have a question, a front-end question, and a performance question. Would you actually, let's go to the search input field here. How would you see this input field actually perform? Would you see this being dynamically updating the results, or what would be the best way for it to be performant, but also kind of user-friendly as well? So dynamically updating the results, or should that be a trigger that sends a request to the backend and then it returns the results? What do you think? What would be the best way? Thank you.
Okay, Julian, I understand. You're asking about the best way to handle dynamic updates of search results from an API, focusing on performance and user experience. To give you the most informed recommendation, I need to consider the trade-offs between different approaches. Let me run a quick search on best practices for handling dynamic API results and performance optimization in front-end development. Okay, Julian, after reviewing some resources, here's what I found regarding strategies for dynamically updating search results, keeping both performance and user experience in mind. Core strategies. 1. Minimize payload size. Use query parameters for filtering, sorting, and pagination to reduce the amount of data transferred. Implement field selection techniques like GraphQL or REST partial responses to avoid overfetching.
Thank you, Jackson. That was helpful. Let's just try the user researcher as well. Let her introduce herself. Hello.
Hi, Julian. Emma here. What user insights are we seeking to?
Hey, Emma, can you please introduce yourself, what you can help with? Thank you.
Of course, Julian. As a user research specialist, I can help you with various aspects of user research, including planning studies, selecting appropriate methodologies, analyzing user data, and providing evidence-based recommendations to improve user experience.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I'm sharing my screen. Let's confirm what we're looking at first. Thank you.
Okay, Julian, I see the screen share. It looks like you're showing an information architecture diagram for an e-commerce website, specifically Amazon. It maps out the user flow from the home page through category.
Hey, thank you. Sorry for interrupting. I would like to, so I have a shopping cart design and I'm thinking of doing some user validation in regards to the shopping experience. What would be the best way? What kind of best practices I can use? What sort of user testing, user research I could use?
Usability testing. What it is. Observe real users as they interact with your shopping cart. Ask them to perform specific tasks, like adding items, modifying quantities, applying discounts, and proceeding to checkout. Why it's important.
Thank you. Thanks. That was very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome, Julian. Is there anything else I can help you with regarding user research or testing methodologies? Would you like me to send a...
That is it. Thank you. Yes, send an email. Thanks.
Okay, Julian, I will send you an email summary of our discussion. I've sent the email, Julian. Let me know if you need anything else.
Okay, we will do one more, which is the webcam. So let the LLM see, well, what the camera is looking at. And there's so many use cases, I believe, when it comes to using the webcam, because you can imagine having your device, phone, tablet, just pointing at something, I think that's it's an awesome opportunity actually to use that kind of a modality when it comes to accessibility and making products a little bit accessible to different people. That's one thing, but also for collaboration. You can obviously imagine having a some cool camera in the office, just pointing at a whiteboard and just having a conversation or a kind of a brainstorming session with the LLM that is looking at the whiteboard. For education purposes, I think that could be very helpful as well. So the example I want to show you, maybe not related to design directly, but that could also be very, very interesting. Hey there.
Hey Julian, Marcus here. What's on your mind today?
Hey Marcus, I'm sharing my webcam. Tell me what you see. Thank you.
Okay, Julian. I see you're sharing your webcam and holding up a book titled The Society of Mind by Marvin Minsky. Is there anything specific about it you'd like to discuss from a design perspective?
Yes, you're correct. This is the book. Well, I'm not entirely sure. I really love the book, but I'm not entirely sure how it relates to product design. Can you please explain? Can you please help me understand if there's a connection here? Thank you.
Sure, Julian. Let me do a quick search to see how the concepts in The Society of Mind might relate to product design. Okay, Julian. The Society of Mind by Marvin Minsky presents a model where intelligence arises from the interaction of many simple, non-intelligent agents. Here's how we might relate it to product design. Modular design. Minsky's concept aligns with modular design principles, where a product is built from independent modules. This allows for flexibility, easier updates, and customization.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Marcus. I'm sharing a different object now with you. What is that object, please?
Julian, I see you're now holding a PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. Would you like me to take a look and offer some feedback on the user experience or interface design?
Yeah, I mean, good practices when it comes to designing such products. That would be helpful. Thank you.
Sure thing, Julian. When it comes to the DualSense controller, a few things stand out from a UX and accessibility perspective. Adaptive triggers. The adaptive triggers that offer variable resistance can add a new dimension to gameplay. From a UX point of view, this can enhance immersion and provide more nuanced feedback to the player.
Thank you. That was very helpful. Thanks, Marcus. Okay, so that was it. Probably too long of a video. But anyway, first video on YouTube. Let me know what you think. Maybe put in a comment. You love it, you hate it. I would love to have a conversation. I think it's important that I think we have a responsibility as designers to make sure that whatever is being built in our products actually is useful. It is accessible, obviously uses kind of a thoughtful approach when it comes to interacting with LLMs. So I would love to get any feedback. Let's have a conversation. If you want to learn more, I'm going to put probably a few things in the description, a few links. What is actually powering this experience when it comes to the APIs, maybe some documentation if you want to have a look at it in your own time. Anyway, I think this is very exciting. This time is very exciting. I know there's a lot of probably anxiety in some areas in regards to where design is going to be in the future. But I think today it is very, very empowering. And I think it's an opportunity for some of you, some of us to actually stand out a little bit and, upskill and be pushed a little bit as well and get out of our kind of a comfort zone. So good luck. Let me know what you think. And maybe I'll see you later in the next episode. Thank you.